Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So today I am going, oh my gosh, this freaking hair. Stay there. Thank you. Anyway, we're gonna be doing another Art Consumed in April video. But first I kind of wanted to do a little book haul because I did go to the bookstore today. I went to Barnes and I did pick up two books and I wanted to tell you guys about them. So, yeah. So, the first one is Idols of the King by Alfred Lord Tennyson. And I think I have heard of Tennyson before, but I've never read Tennyson before, but I think I've heard of him and like other writings or something like that. But yeah, but I'm excited to read this because this is a book kind of not only about King Arthur, but this is also about chivalry, and this is um found in the poetry section. And oh my gosh, there's like little fuzzies on my finger. Anyway, but yeah, I'm gonna read the back for you guys. So it says, Tennyson had a lifelong interest in the legend of King Arthur, and after the huge success of his poem Morte d'Arthur, he built on the theme with the series of the 12 poems. Idols of the King traces the story of Arthur's role from his first encounter with Guinevere and the quest for the Holy Grail to the adultery of his queen with Lancelot and Arthur's death in the battle that spells the ruin of his kingdom. Tennyson's depiction of the Round Table reflects on a longing for a past age of valor and chivalry, and his depiction of King Arthur, he created a hero who embodied the highest ideals of manhood and kingship. And there's a little quote at the top that says, "There likewise I beheld Excalibur before him at his crowning born, the sword that rose from out of the bosom of the lake." So there's that. And honestly, I truly bought this for the cover because I was like, this is such an amazing cover. Like, look at that. Like, that's a beautiful book right there. So yeah, and it's a Penguin classic. If I didn't mention, I don't know, I don't remember if I mentioned that. But yeah, this cover is amazing. And I kind of went with the theme, and also I have been getting into kind of medieval, kind of fairy tale type fantasy, um kind of just like chivalry and like knights and stuff like that. I've been really into that kind of thing. So my kind of tastes right now are kind of leaning toward that way. So I did, and also I've been like kind of looking for fantasy to read, and I honestly don't really go for fantasies because fantasies are just not my thing, but sometimes I'm in the mood for a fantasy and I'm just like, I don't know what to read. So, excuse me. So, I did find this book, and excuse me. I burped. And I was like, "Oh my gosh, this looks very interesting." And I really don't know anything about like fantasy really, because I haven't read that many fantasy stuff. But I did check this out, and the story really interested me, and I am really excited to read this. But it's not gonna happen right now because I'm in the middle of stuff. I'm in the middle of reading stuff, so can't just. I'm trying to focus on the books I'm already reading. So yeah, and I started another book today, so I'll talk about that in my May art I consumed video. But yeah, so the book that I picked up is Assassin's Apprentice by Robin Hobb, and this cover is also really cool and interesting. And yeah, this is book one in the Farseer trilogy, and I did look this up. This is the correct one to start off with because there is like multiple series, and yeah, so I was like, what? So yeah, I don't know if they all are connected, but Robin Hobb does have a lot of books, and I'm excited to start with this one at least. So yeah, so this one is the first book in the epic Farseer trilogy and a glorious new edition. Wait, does that mean that this cover is new? Or I don't know. I don't know what that means. But anyway. But I'm just gonna read the back for you guys. It says young Fitz is the bastard son of a noble Prince Chivalry, raised in the shadow of the royal court by his father's gruff stableman. Fitz is treated like an outcast by all the royalty, except for his devious King Sherd, who has him secretly tutored in the arts of the assassin. For in Fitz's blood runs the magic skill and the darker knowledge of a child raised with the stable hounds and rejected by his family. As barbarous raiders ravage the coast, Fitz is growing to manhood. Soon he will face his first dangerous, soul-shattering mission. And though some regard him as a threat to the throne, he may just be the key to the survival of the kingdom. And this is just so interesting to me. And there is a little quote from George R.R. Martin that says, fantasy is ought to be written. Robin Hobb's books are diamonds in the sea of zircons, whatever. I don't know what zircon says, but yeah. And also, George R.R. Martin is the author who wrote the Game of Thrones books, and I am tempted to read that series too, but I'm in the middle of things, and I also have books that I want to read, so I just can't read that series right now. But once I have the time and once I have the brain capacity to engulf myself into that series, because I know it's a show. I've never watched the show, but I know it's like very popular, and I don't really know much. I know that a lot of people love that show and that series so much. I don't know about the books really. I don't really know about these books really, and I don't really know Robin Hobbs, because like I said again, I'm not really into fantasy books, so I don't really know if I'm gonna like his writing or anything, but I'm excited to see what this book is, because it seems interesting, and I really did like the Witcher series, but I honestly liked the first two books, and the rest were kind of just like not so great, but I still liked it enough to keep going. And that is a pretty long series. I think there's like 8 or 9 books if I'm correct. I don't really remember. There's so many books that I'm just like, oh, I don't even remember how many books, but I read all the books, and I'm kind of just like, yeah. And after that I was like, okay, I do like fantasy, but it's just not something that I gravitate towards. I kind of realized that after. But yeah, that's the books that I got from the bookstore. And I did get a book light because I wanted to have a book light for when I want to read at nighttime and I want my light off and I could just have a book light. So yeah, that was exciting. And yeah, let's get into the art I consumed. This list is gonna be pretty short because I did not really listen to any music that kind of sparked anything, and I know that Olivia Rodrigo just came out with a single from her new album that is coming out this summer called Drop Dead, but um I just didn't really connect with that song that much, so that's why it's not on here. And also, I just didn't really listen to music that much this month. One thing that I did listen to, but I didn't add for some reason. I'll get to that a little bit later, but yeah, I didn't add it for some reason. I don't know why I didn't do that, but yeah. So let's get into it. So the first thing is a song, and it was very interesting because it's not it's not something that I see or listen to all the time, and I initially just saw it on my YouTube, and I was just like, oh, this looks interesting, let me just save it for later. And then I was like, kind of forgot about it, and then I saw it again, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna just listen to this song. And turns out it's not like a regular song, it's like one of those songs that is just like, it's just the sound, it's just the music, it's not, there's no lyrics, and it's just a vibe. And it was called Mata Zuklek. I honestly, hold on. Let me see if I have it liked. Cause I can't, but it's by Anne-Jean de Poitrin, and yeah, hold on. We're gonna see. It's been a minute. It's not there. I don't see it. Hold on. I did like it, I think, but I don't see it, so. I guess I didn't like it. I don't know. But let me see. I'm just gonna look it up. Not. Yeah, it's Mata Zaklek. I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce that, but yeah. It's by Anne-Jean de Poitrin. I think it's like a French artist, I guess, because that doesn't sound French, but I don't know. I don't really know much. I just listened to a song and that was it. But yeah. And then I watched a short, and I did a lot of that. I watched a short film by Wes Anderson called The Swan, and I really liked it, but I feel like I've seen um better by him, even though I haven't watched all of it, or I haven't watched all of his work, and um I haven't watched a lot of it yet, but I feel like I've seen better shorts from him. So excuse me, burp. But yeah, I feel like there has been better, and that one just wasn't a favorite, but it was still good and I really enjoyed it. And then I watched Moon Age Daydream. It's kind of like a documentary, but it's also a concert film kind of, but it's not a concert film. It's a documentary, true and true. And um yeah, and it was about David Bowie, and it was so good, and I really really enjoyed it. I thought though that I kind of just I don't know. There was a lot to this. So yeah. But also, I really also did like how there was definitely a good mix of both David Bowie's music, and then also um it was a documentary, like you it was a documentary about David Bowie, and I feel like it was a very good mix. But also I feel like I wanted to get to know David Bowie a little bit more, and I know there's like more documentaries about David Bowie, but that's just the one that I happened to watch. And yeah, and I did enjoy myself watching it. So yeah. And then I watched Addison Rae's Coachella performance. I sat on my chair, pulled up YouTube, and I watched the Coachella performance. And honestly, Addison Rae was the only one. I don't know, cause like I don't really know who else was like really playing, cause I didn't really watch a lot of the performances, but there was like two performances that I kind of missed, because I didn't realize what time it was, and I kind of missed it. But Pink Panthers, and then Leve, I didn't realize that I missed it, and I was like, you know what, I don't really want to, like, I was just like, I want to watch something else. So I was like, at the same time, so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna watch my thing instead of just watching the Coachella thing. Even though there is a weekend too, I did not watch any of the Coachella performances from weekend two, but it's okay. It's okay. But yeah. But there was like some more stuff that happened in weekend two, for Addison Rae's performance, because like Olivia Rodrigo was literally on stage with her, so should have watched it, but it's okay. Um, and then I watched another short, and it's called Everkeep, and it's a stop motion short film. And I wrote the name down. It's called um Nakisa Sanai. I feel like I'm saying a roll call name. Like, what the heck? Um, hold on. I'm gonna look it up so I can, like, hold on. Hold on. Cover. Keep. Oh, here we go. Yeah, it's Nakisa Sanai. I had it right. I was just making sure. And, um, so you guys can, like, recognize it if you look it up. It's this one right here. If you guys can see. Yeah. It's that one right there. And I really, really liked it. And I want to watch more stop motion. I love stop motion, and I don't watch it enough. And then I watched, okay. And then I watched this video that I saw, and it was like an animation type thing too. But yeah, it was On the Other Side, and the YouTube name to watch it is called Tama Art University. So just look up On the Other Side Tama Art University, and it will pop up. So yeah, and then I watched another short called The Mermaid, and it's from 1904 by George Millay. It was really cool, and it's kind of like that old cinema type feel, kind of silent film. But yeah, I'm filming. And then I watched this short called Captain Sparky versus the Flying Saucers. That's also a short film um from Frankenweenie. I don't know why I was blanking on the name. But yeah. it's like a short from the movie Frankenweenie. And then I watched another short called it's a Lego short, but yeah, I watched the Frozen Operation on Puffins, and that was really fun. And that was the last thing that I needed to watch kind of in the Frozen franchise before Frozen 3 comes out next year. So yeah, I'm very excited about that. And then I watched like an actual film, not something that was short film, but an actual film. I watched The Royal Tenenbaums, and that is directed by Wes Anderson. And yeah, I really really enjoyed it. I made like a whole review. Um, but yeah, hold on. I will say my review. I think it's this one, right? Yeah. But yeah, I said, firstly, I have to say this is the best soundtrack I've heard in a movie in a long while. Granted, this movie was released in 2001. I loved the storytelling in this film. I haven't watched all of Wes Anderson's films yet, but this might take the cake in being my favorite Wes Anderson film. Some of my thoughts of the film are that I liked how the characters' flaws are just there. They don't have to tell the audience what they don't have to tell the audience. It's just what they are shown. Um, it's the case of showing and not telling, which is what Wes Anderson does best. The father and the father royal finds out that Ethelyn was getting remarried. Um, he being broke and being covetous of how she is moving on, he tries moving back into the house and says that he is dying and he has cancer, which I knew he was lying about from the very beginning. So I was like, you're lying. You're lying. But yeah, he also tries to reconnect with his kids, Chaz, Richie, and Margot. Chaz and Margot could give a rat's butt about fixing their relationship, but Richie still cares about their dad, which I kind of like was like, oh, but my thought was like, I don't know, I wonder why Richie was the only one that was still cared that, about his father. Like if the rest didn't. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe like I didn't really realize that, maybe he had a little bit of a better relationship than the others with his dad, but yeah, I don't know. Um, but yeah, I feel like also, I don't know if I mentioned this in my review, but there's a lot that you're like, if you look away for a second, you miss something. So yeah, so you really have to pay attention, especially when you're watching a Wes Anderson film, because like I said, um, it's a show not tell kind of way of film, and the way that he films. So you really have to pay attention to every single detail and every single thing to kind of understand what the characters are thinking and doing and whatever. And yeah, it's yeah. Um, honestly, they don't. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, that's where I was. Okay, so yeah. Honestly, they don't owe their dad anything because when he was in our lives, Royal never even tried to have a good relationship with them, especially with Margot. Even though she was adopted, he never really treated her like she was a part of the family, and always treated and always the adopted child. Um, so yeah. So yeah, that's all I wrote for my review. But yeah, if I ever if I ever watch this again, I'm sure that I would have a little bit more thoughts on it. And I keep telling myself I need to like when I write a review, see I should write my review as I'm watching a movie if I'm watching at home, but I never do that. So, yeah. But I need to start doing it for sure. But yeah. And then oh, I have a song again. And I listened to I'll Let You Finish by Finn Wolfhard. And it's been a minute since I listened to Finn Wolfhard's song, so that was pretty cool. And yeah. And then the last thing that I watched this month was Twitches 1 and Twitches 2. And I did watch half of Mulan, but I was like I was like I'm tired. My back hurts and I was just like I want to go in my bed. Like I want to be in bed. But yeah. So yeah, that's it. That's all for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, give it a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe to my channel. And yeah, that's all. I'll see you guys in my next video.